All right. Oh. All right. So, this is my asthma video. ASMR, asthma, ew, whatever. All right. Salivating. Here's the motherfreaking juice. So, I'm not gonna be chomping the whole time, but I'm hungry. My side boo and my Capri Sun can be my other side boo. I'm running out of dip. I couldn't even stop eating. Like, I'm supposed to be telling y'all a story and I can't stop eating. All right, so here is my worst Tinder date ever. It was this guy. We're gonna call him Mark. So Mark, adds me from search on Snapchat. So I automatically know, like, he added me from Tinder. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever, I'll just add him back. So I added him back. It was like, hey, I added you from Tinder. I hope that's not too weird and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, no, it's not too weird. What do you look like? So he sends me a picture of what he looks like. Well, like a couple of them. He's like a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Sorry, but that's the truth. But anyways, I was like, whatever. But usually, like, if somebody adds me from Tinder and they're not all that good looking, I'll just maybe talk to them a little bit more and then, like, cut it. And I ended up talking to him for like 2 months. And that's the longest I've talked to somebody. And also, I just want to put that out there. I've never been in a relationship before. We'll always talk about meeting up. But I would, like, tell him, like, why don't you just come here to where I'm at? So we are both from the same city. I moved to another city for my junior year. From my old city to the city I go to school in is about an hour and 15 minutes. Maybe 45 minutes if there's no traffic or if you speeding a little bit. But I do not condone speeding. He was like, no, I don't want to meet you there. I'm gonna just wait until you come back home and, like, we can hang out then. Okay, fair enough. So there was a weekend I came home. And I really didn't want to tell him that I came home, but I was like, you know what, just forget it. I'll do it. Whatever. I'll do it. I had talked to my friend. Let's say her name is Becca. Becca is like a friend. I worked with her. I was just like, Becca, let's go out, and I'm back home. We should go to a bar. We ended up going to some Irish pub. I asked her, I was like, so I've been talking to this guy for a while. Can he come along? And she was like, sure, I don't care. So I was just like, hey, Mark, why don't you just come and meet me at this Irish pub? And he was like, yeah, when? And I was like, tonight. So he was like, okay. I am a nervous wreck. A nervous wreck. I get to Becca's house. We leave. One of Becca's friends comes and he drives us to the pub. We wasn't even there a good 10 minutes and I got the text of, I'm here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And he's shorter than I expected. He's the same height as me, just like a little bit taller, but I expected him to be taller than that. I mean, that's not a factor, but I'm just saying. You know that saying where they're like they're ugly in pictures, but they look good in person? In his case, nope. But you know what? It's all about the personality. I mean, he had a good personality and all that, so, you know. Of course, I am of age. I'm 21. So I was drinking, but I wasn't drinking that much. I had like a cup of Sex on the Beach, because that is my go-to drink. I'm dancing and I'm a little buzzed, so I'm like a little confident. So I'm like, and I asked him, consent, 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 consent. I said, can I dance on you? And he goes, yes. So I turn around, I put this badonkadonk. Here is him. Here's my badonkadonk. I do this and he backs up. So I'm like, if I got consent, you said you was okay with it, then why are you backing up? I mean, if you're not okay with me putting that badonkadonk on you, putting that wagon on you, putting that thing on you, then you just should have just been known. I would have respected that, and I would just, just casually just like dance with him. I just didn't do it no more. I would sit down, but I would still want him to like get up and like dance with us. We're sitting by the bar, and my friend Becca drops her drink, and he offers to buy her a drink and me a drink. I was like, you clumsy heifer. But anyway, we go back to Becca's house because I was going to spend the night over there. So he pulls up and he can't find a parking spot. So he parks in front of a fire hydrant. I'm like, you can't park here because of course you'll get a ticket. Don't park in front of a fire hydrant. He was like, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You know what? That's your parking ticket. I'm not paying for it anyway. While I'm in the car with him, Becca and her friend get up and leave and get out the car. So I'm about to get up and leave out the car. I'm like, I did not want him to come up. I told him, he was like, let me come up. And I'm like, no, I'm tired. I'm not going to be any fun. I'm probably going to shower and go right to sleep. So you might as well just like go home. He was like, no, let me come up, let me come up. Fine. Okay, just come on. So we come up, and Becca is in the bed, almost asleep, and her other friend is in the other room, almost asleep. I go in Becca's room to get my stuff so I can, gather it up and, take a shower. As I'm in her room, he comes in her room. I'm like, first of all, why are you coming in her room? You don't even know this. I don't know. It was just weird to me. Like standing there watching me. I'm like watching me like, did I make you feel awkward? That's how he made me feel. So we go in the living room, he sits on the couch and he wants me to sit next to him. I really didn't want to sit next to him. I really didn't want to. I was like, forget it, it's okay. I sit next to him. And he puts his arm around me and the smell hit me. It smelled like, some of y'all may know this restaurant. It smelled like White Castle. His armpits smelled like White Castle. And if you don't know what White Castle is, basically just a he smelled like a big old ball of onions. Just armpit smell. I was just like, I was like, ew, excuse me? When I first met him and I hugged him, he smelled good. But then now he was just stinking, I guess. And when I tell this story to my friends, they're just like, maybe he was just sweating too much and he was nervous. I'm like, okay, whatever, but he still stunk. The cat, so Becca has a cat. The cat jumps up on the arm of the chair. He like pushes the cat off. I'm like, you don't push Willis off the arm of the chair. You don't do that. That's Willis. So I get up and I was like, I'm about to go to bed. Like I'm giving him hints like, you should go, but he's not taking it. This man leans and lays down on the couch and says, I can't move. I'm too tired. You better get untired, but get up and go. I didn't say that. I'm really nice. Really nice. But I was like, you need to get out. Like, skedaddle. Get up out of here, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out. So I text my friend. I'm like, he's not leaving. And she's like, tell him that you need to lock up. And he has to go. So I was like, okay, you're going to have to go because, you know, I got to lock up and da-da-da-da. So he like so I'm like, he's like, come here. I'm like, what? And he like grabs my arm, not like hard, but he's grabbing it and he's pulling me to sit down next to him. I'm like, I'm pulling away like, no, like get off of me. So I like, you know, I was just like stern with him. You're gonna have to go. So he gets up and then he tries to hug me and I'm like, no. I mean, he tries to hug me. I'm like, ugh. Kiss me. He asked me to kiss me and I said no and he still tried to kiss me. He's like trying to get me up against the wall and kiss. I'm like, you gonna have to go. So eventually he stops. He gets the hint and then he goes down the steps and I let him out. So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward a couple weeks. He wants to meet up and I just come out and I say it and I was like, I didn't like the fact that I kept telling you like, no, like you kept on kissing on me and like grabbing on me and that made me feel uncomfortable. And he was like, did that ruin your impression of me? And I was like, yeah, like you did not take kissing on me. And I was like, no, you know, pushing him away. Like, no. And he just kept trying. And I'm like, no, like if I say no the first time, that should have been it. That should have been. And he turned it around and said it was my fault. He was intoxicated. He was like off of, he was off of the cannabis, the married iguana. He was just like, you should have known. And I would, and basically he was blaming the fact that he was on the married iguana, that he wasn't taking no for an answer. But I don't care. No is no. It doesn't matter if you're intoxicated or not. Simple as that. If I tell you no, you need to quit. Simple as that. You led me on by dancing on me. What? I didn't even get to dance on you. Because when I tried to put that thing on you, you backed up after I got consent. Ooh, there goes that word again. Consent. After that, I blocked him on everything. Except for Instagram. Because I forgot that we followed each other on Instagram. And he messaged me. He messaged me like I think a week after that. He was like, can you please unblock me? I hate that you're mad at me and da-da-da-da-da-blah-blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not unblocking you. So, yeah. That was the story of my worst Tinder date ever. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna be back next week, Saturday. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Any suggestions on like what other topics to talk about? Because honey, I got stories for everything. I've had people tell me that like, Jess, you have stories for every freaking thing. I'm like, I know. Just a lot of things have happened.